Welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report. Chase Sr. here with you. As always, no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making time for our post-game reaction show. And that was really ugly. Niners lose here in Week 10 to the Los Angeles Rams, 42-26. And a lot of people told me all week, Chase, stop talking about it. A move for a pass rusher wouldn't have helped this defense out. The Niners couldn't give up any draft picks for the 2026 or 2027 draft. They needed to continue to build. And I had said, hold on. The Niners are 6-3 in the thick of the race in the NFC, 3-0 in this division, with an opportunity in a wide open NFC to make some noise this year. And you watch this game today. Do you still have that same reaction? The Niners, so obviously as a defense, are one or two players short, maybe even a little bit more. And some people might say, you really think one player is going to make the difference? Well, after you lost Mykel Williams, your worst fears came true. This Niners defense against the run, awful. This Niners defense, terrible. This Niners back seven, shredded all day. This Niners defense was atrocious. San Francisco today got pantsed. San Francisco got worked. San Francisco got embarrassed. San Francisco got annihilated in this football game. And I do believe that if the Niners made a move for a pass rusher or two, the result wouldn't have been this. Matthew Stafford, all day to throw, was barely hit, was barely pressured. The Niners as a team had one sack. It was a coverage sack. It came out of structure. The Rams as a team, able to run the football at will. They were able to convert on third downs all day long. And when you lose a player like Mykel Williams, your best edge setter as a run defender, I could have predicted that the run game was going to struggle for this defense. When you can't generate a pass rush on the quarterback, I could have predicted that Matthew Stafford, who came into this game with 21 touchdowns and 2 picks, was going to be comfortable back there and was going to be able to shred this Niners team. And while this back seven played one of the worst games over the last few years that I've seen this Niners team play, and they certainly deserve blame for that, the front is tied to the back end. And when you can't generate a pass rush against an elite quarterback like Matthew Stafford with elite weapons like Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams with a good offensive line and a good run game going up against a quality opponent, that is the result. And it's not fair to ask the back seven to hold up for so long against this quarterback, against this coach, with these weapons when you can't generate pressure on the QB. Let me ask you this too. If Eddie D was running this team at 6-3, would he have made a trade? Yes. The guy was uber aggressive, won 5 Super Bowls in 14 years. And if he saw an opportunity for the Niners to be in the thick of the race at 6-3, after they had lost their second starting defensive end from opening day to another torn ACL, he would have made a move. Quincy Williams, a linebacker for the Jets, got benched. The Jets wanted a 4th-round pick. You think the Niners could have used a player like Quincy Williams today? Did you have fun watching Luke Gifford drop back in coverage and get shredded? How can Nick Martin, a 3rd-round pick with his elite athleticism, not even see the field when the result is that? And if you're not going to make a move at the NFL trade deadline, why not just play your young players? Marquise Siegel, healthy scratch, play him. Your safeties suck. Alfred Collins out. Sebastian Valdez, elevated, inactive. Why not play him to see what he can do? CJ West, a healthy scratch the last couple of games, actually made a couple of nice plays. And I know that Luke Gifford and Nick Martin don't play the same positions. One, why aren't the Niners practicing him at strong side backer? Two, just get him on the field to see what he can do. Because the result can't get worse than what we saw today. 42 points given up. And I had a fear that this is going to happen. Friday, Krug and I are talking on the Krug show. We're both saying Niners might get boat raced. Why? Because the margin for error is so thin. The Rams have the talent edge. The Rams came in hot. And this Niners defense going up against this Rams offense is the ultimate mismatch. And what the Niners had to do to win this game is have everything go perfectly, make clutch plays, have the Rams make some mistakes, and have the Rams not possess the football. And all those things went in the Niners' way in week 5. In this game, things didn't go the Niners' way early. The Rams possessed the football a lot. The Rams played clean. And they took that 21-0 lead early in the first half. And the Niners, to their credit, showed some resolve. They showed some toughness. They showed some fight. They tried to claw back in this game. At one point, it became a touchdown game. And then the Rams were just able to pull away because this defense stinks. So, look, I don't put this loss on Kyle Shanahan. Mac Jones played superb. And once Brock Purdy comes back, how do you sit Mac Jones down with what he's done this year? The offense wasn't the problem. The defense was the problem in this game. I don't even blame Robert Saleh. He's trying to make it work with a lack of sum of parts. He doesn't have enough ingredients in the kitchen. This loss is on Jed York. I hope that Super Bowl 60 host money looks good. And this loss is on John Lynch. It was so obvious to anybody who knows football that the Niners needed to make a move after Mykel Williams was lost for the year. But the Niners, Jed York, and John Lynch were content with having one of the worst pass rushing rotations in the National Football League. And if we're putting it nicely, a bottom 5 edge group in the NFL. And now for the rest of the year, I had said last week, the Niners pretty much waved the white flag. They're going to be competitive. They're going to play hard. They're going to fight. They're going to beat some bad teams. Against good teams, without making moves at the deadline, this is the result. And if you want to compete with good teams, you're going to have to play perfectly. And the Niners did not play perfectly by any means in this game. Fans deserve better than the product that we saw on the field here today. At least the Niners have their future draft picks, right? They could have improved this team this year. And another thing, too, if you made a move for a defensive end and you lock that defensive end up for the foreseeable future, that helps you next year. Because you don't know when Nick Bosa and Mykel Williams are going to be able to come back. The Niners not making any moves at the deadline was a loser mentality. It was way too conservative. They got scared at the NFL trade deadline, and they surrendered for the rest of the year because, and Mike Silver reported this, because people inside the building are frustrated that the Niners didn't make a move. Everybody knows that this defense is not good enough to actually be a factor for the rest of the year. Whereas if you made a move at the deadline and your pass rush was better, which then makes your back 7 better, they would have been more competitive. And some people will say, well, Chase, that player would have gotten hurt too. If that's your mentality, if that's your thought process, fold the franchise. Because under that thought, everybody who they trade for, everybody who they sign, everybody who they draft is going to get injured anyway too, right? So just fold the franchise, end that quest for 6 Super Bowls, and just don't have a football team any longer, if that is your thought process, if that is your opinion. It was a soft way to approach the deadline and a loser mentality, and the Niners deserve to lose a game like this, 42-26. Because they needed to make moves. They were so light as far as bodies. And they got worked here today. All right, more to get to here. Let's get to our sponsor. We all have a bad taste in our mouths after that Niners defeat. You want a good taste? Omaha Steaks. Unrivaled quality, unrivaled taste. And you know what's so great? If you're busy like me, they deliver right to your door. Nothing better than coming home from a watch party and I come to the crib and I got some filet mignons waiting for me. Grass-fed, grain-finished, extra-aged, USDA certified tender steaks, but also juicy burgers. And more game day favorites like chicken wings, deli-style franks, and brats. Also, Philly cheesesteaks. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety. Every bite backed by their 100% guarantee. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. Grass-fed, grain-finished beef has more marbling for exceptional flavor, and it is the choice of steakhouses and professional chefs all around the world. Backed by an unconditional 100% money-back guarantee, Omaha Steaks has been America's original butcher since 1917. A family-owned company with over 100 years of expertise in the meat industry. Make game day delicious with the official sponsor of tailgating. Visit omahasteaks.com and listen up, faithful. If you use the code 49ers, after you visit that link, you get $35 off. You want to support our show? You want to support your nutrition? You want to eat good, feel good, and be healthy? omahasteaks.com, code 49ers. Get $35 off at checkout. So you look at what the Rams did in this game. Matthew Stafford, 24 of 36, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He was sacked one time, and it was on an extracurricular play where it was a hustle sack for San Francisco. His quarterback rating, a 127.1. Again, coming into this game, he was in the thick of the MVP conversation. Now, furthermore, with a performance like that, and he didn't have a care in the world or a worry in the world about this pass rush getting to him because he knew this pass rush wasn't going to generate consistent pressure. Quarterback hits for the Niners in this game. 8 of them, but only that one sack. And he was rarely pressured in this game. And I'd said it all week. Rams offense has a lot of balance, right? They were able to run the ball really successfully. 30 carries for $126, 4.2 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns on the ground. The Niners defense gave up 6 touchdowns in this game. Kyron Williams leading the way, 14 carries for 73. Blake Corum also really good. I like the 1-2 punch that they have. Shorter backs, but very physical, good contact balance, and good center of gravity. Through the air, Davante Adams got a little bit banged up late. 6 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. What are we doing having Malik Mustafa in a goal line situation covering Davante Adams? You know what another concern is for this Niners team moving forward? Their safety play. It's not good. Marquise Siegel can't cover. Malik Mustafa can't cover. Jair Brown, sometimes scared of contact. Not really a good athlete. It's not good. That's another question mark for this football team moving forward. Puka Nacua, 5 catches for 64 yards, able to pick up yards after the catch. Another thing that trading for players does, it gives a team belief. It gives a team confidence knowing that the guys upstairs have confidence in them that they can accomplish something special this year. When you don't make a move, the team gets deflated. Did the Niners come out in this game playing with fire, playing with effort, playing with intensity? No, they didn't. So you look at the NFC playoff picture right now. If the season were to end today, the San Francisco 49ers would not be in the playoffs. You lose this divisional game, it was obviously big. You're 3-1 in the division. You have games coming up against Arizona. Another one against Seattle. But this game was big for the NFC West standings and big in the NFC playoff picture. Bye week coming in week 14. Might be too late by then. But the Seahawks, they boat raced Arizona. They're now the number 1 seed. If the Eagles win tomorrow night, they'll move back up to the number 1 seed. But Seahawks for now, 7-2. Eagles 2 seed, 6-2. They play the Packers. They're 5-2-1. Buccaneers 6-3. Rams 7-2. Lions 6-3. Bears, 6-3. Niners on the outside looking in right now at 6-4. The loss is really what weighs heavily there because the amount of losses that they have. Now, again, a lot of these other teams have had their bye week. Niners have not. But a bad look in the standings and a bad loss on the stat sheet. Another conversation here to have. Adam Schefter said during the pregame show on ESPN today, if Mac Jones wins this game, I'm not sure Brock Purdy gets his job back. Now, the Niners did not win this game, but Mac Jones played awesome. 33 of 39 for 319 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. But early in the game, Jawan Jennings fumble as the Niners were moving it. That killed him. Mac's pick late came on a 4th down. Desperate. Had to throw it. Had pressure in his face because this Niners offensive line is mid. Niners, once again, couldn't run the football against an elite defense. You knew that was going to come. Plus, they went down early, so that hurt the ability to run it. Got the 21 carries for 74 yards, 3.5 yards per carry. McCaffrey, 12 carries for 30 yards, 2.5 yards per carry. Again, against bad defenses, they can run it. Against good defenses, they cannot. Cardinals coming up next week. Going to be a road game for San Francisco. Cardinals got embarrassed today against Seattle, 44-22, and the score was not even that close. But the Niners got embarrassed today. Both teams giving up 40-plus points in Arizona and San Francisco here today. But you kind of had a sense that this type of defeat was coming for the Niners, and it was listless. It was embarrassing. Will the 49ers make the playoffs? Let's leave you with that. Answer it for me down in the comment section. Yes or no? Share your opinions with me. Predict it.